Whatever you guys do.
Welcome, everybody, to Total Chaos. I'm your host, Ali Burns from Picks Parlays. This is a show where I take three expert handicappers. I give them four baseball games that are happening on Friday, June 17th, and they're going to let me know if those games are going over or under the total. Whoever gets the most correct comes back as the Total Chaos champion. Before we get started, I need everyone to like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and then don't forget about our official sponsor, Caesar Sportsbook. They're hooking up all new accounts with up to $1,500 in a risk-free first bet. Just use the promo code MORNING15, MORNING15, or use the link you can find in the description of this video. Today's a special day. We've got the crew from the Insiders Room. We've got Nick Parsons, Wry Cape, and Rossman getting ready to kick things off. Nick Parsons, how you feeling about today? You've got a record of 46, 38, and 5. You were 3-1-1 on our last show. How you feeling, friend?
Yeah, really good. Missed last week, of course. You were on vacation, so yeah, ready to step up here and get it done this week for sure.
Rocking and rolling. Yeah, you guys technically you won against AM because he pushed his
That's
best
right.
bet and you won your best bet.
Exactly.
But I mean, 3-1-1 is no slouching. So great work.
Yeah, thanks.
So Wry Cape, I haven't seen you in a while. You were 3-1 with a postponement actually on our last show. How you feeling about being back?
I'm good. I'm up against the heavy hitters. I'm ready to go.
All right, I love it. And Rossman, 4-0 on your debut appearance on the show. You're back for more. How's it going, Ross?
It's going well. I was happy to go 4-0 and keep the streak going, and I'm going to need luck.
So there's that. All right, like I said, 4 baseball games. These guys are picking them over or under the total. We're going to start out with the Padres at the Rockies. We've got 11.5, 2 lefties. Gore and Freeland are on the mound. Rossman, why don't you go first with your 4-0 self? 11.5, over or under?
On this game, I've got over 11 on this one. Padres at the Rockies. Right now, the Padres they're a run machine. And so I look at this and I see they're going into Colorado playing at the Rockies. It shouldn't have a hard time getting runs there. But I mean, they're just crushing it right now. They want 12 runs one night, 19 runs the other night. And they're healthy. So this should be no problem with going over in my book.
Nick Parsons, do you agree or disagree?
I mean, Rossman is right about that. The Padres, the average 4.73 runs per game, but they have a collective 3.52 ERA. Gore, he's 4-2 with a 2.50 ERA. Now the Rockies, the average 4.48 runs. That's middle of the pack. They have a collective 5.01 ERA. That's not that great. Freeland, though, he's 2-5 with a decent 4.39 ERA. I know this is Coors Field, but you know what? I think that these pitchers are pretty decent. I think this number is just a little bit too high. I'm going under in this one.
All right, Wry Cape, you are the tiebreaker, over or under the 11.5?
I also think this is going under. We're seeing 2 under pitchers. These teams have faced off recently, both pitchers, Gore against Freeland, and it was a 6-2 game in San Diego. The number was 7.5, so it did go over, but I like the under here.
Okay, so a little bit of disagreement. That's what makes it spicy. We're talking Twins and the Diamondbacks. We've got 2 lefties again, Smeltzer and Bumgarner. The number on this one is 9, and Nick, you are up first.
Yep, Smeltzer, he's 3-0 with a 2.38 ERA. Bumgarner, he's only 2-6, but he has a 3.50 ERA. This is a bit of a tough one. I mean, Minnesota averages 4.40 runs per game. Arizona averages 4.06 runs per game. But if I'm looking at these starting pitchers, I'm looking at the recent form of them coming in here. I think I see a bit of a duel here. So once again, I'm going under Ali.
Okay, Wry Cape, how do you feel about this one?
I'm going over on this one. We have 2 good hitting teams. Minnesota Twins hit home runs, and I think Arizona is going to try to keep up with them. Arizona is 12-2 versus the under or 2-over versus an AL team who starting pitcher has a 1.3 whip or better. And Smeltzer's an over pitcher. He's 4-2 to the over this season. And Bumgarner facing the Twins is 2-0 to the over as well.
Okay, Rossman, that makes you the tiebreaker on this round. Over or under the 9?
I am under. the 9 on this one. I think Smeltzer is pitching well enough to keep the Diamondbacks at bay even at home. I mean, Wry Cape's right. Normally, these are good hitting teams, but neither one of them is rocking overs right now. Could go either way, obviously, but I tend to lean the under on this one.
Okay. Up next, we're going to roll with the Angels at the Mariners. We've got Lorenzen and Robbie Ray, the number 7.5. And Rye, you're up first.
Yeah, so I'm going with the over here. Lorenzen is 3-0 to the over in his last 3. He's also 3-0, or last 3. He is to the over against the AL West. Ray is also an over pitcher lately, so I think that we're going over here.
Ross, what are you doing?
Wry Cape's absolutely right. This is an over one. I think both teams have been on kind of run droughts, but to credit what Wry Cape said, we're looking at 2 pitchers with high ERAs. So I have no doubt that these teams are going to kind of both be able to get themselves out of run droughts. So I like the over.
Nick Parsons, are you getting on board?
I am going contrarian on this one. Yeah, I mean, both teams have been struggling with late runs of late. LA's been struggling of late. It averages 4.27 runs per game overall this year. That ranks 18th. The Mariners average just 4.02. That's 26. Each ranked in the bottom third as far as pitching collectively as well. But looking at these starters, yeah, Ray, I mean, I think he's going to settle down here. He hasn't lived up to his Cy Young form, but this is a really good team for him to bounce back here at home. And so, yeah, I'm going contrarian. I'm going under.
Okay. Last one for the round. We're talking the Guardians at the Dodgers. We've got Plesak and Kershaw. I spelled his name funny. I will fix that, but the number is still 8. And it is going to Nick Parsons. You go first, yeah? Bam. What you got?
Yeah, these are 2 really good teams, Ellie, on both sides. They both can hit the ball well. They both can throw the ball well. The Guardians average 4.67 runs per game. The Dodgers average 5.08 runs per game. That's number 1 in the league, but they post a collective 2.98 ERA. That's number 1 in the league. And so, yeah, what are you supposed to do with this one? This is a tough one. Over, under 8, this line. Both teams can hit. Both teams can pitch. But I'm going to look at these starting pitchers. I think these 2 guys are workhorses. I'm going to go under once again.
All right. Rye, I'm lost in the mix. Rye, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm going with the over. Cleveland hits well against left-handed pitchers. Kershaw is 2-0 to the over against the season. Plesac's an over pitcher, and Cleveland is 13-3 to the over in road games on Fridays.
Never ever bet on the Phillies on Tuesdays. Just trust me. You're welcome. Rye, Guardians, Dodgers, 8, over or under? Or sorry, Ross. I said Rye.
I am going with the under on this one. We are talking about Kershaw. I think he doesn't have any problem pitching lights out. The Dodgers, though, have not been on a big run dig here in the past 5 games. They've actually been on a bit of a run drought in the past 5 games. So, will they turn it around? I mean, obviously it's still the Dodgers. They have the possibility of doing it, but Kershaw's on the mound. So I'm not sure the Guardians will be able to do too much against him. And over the last 5, Dodgers haven't, while their hitting may be great, it hasn't amounted to enough runs. So I think I believe the under 8 on this one is safe.
Okay. Well, that's a round of total chaos. I am going to do a little bit of a recap, but I want to remind everyone to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. Let's meet our handicappers real quick. Nick Parsons, let me bring you on in here. Tell the people where they can find you and what you are all about.
Well, they can find me at picksandparlays.net, of course. The Insiders Room, yeah, we've been one of the handicappers on there now for a couple of years. And you can find us all over the leaderboards. You can check out all of our different stats, and we play all the major sports. Come check out the Insiders Room over at picksandparlays.net.
Yes, and definitely check out the Insiders Room Discord as well. Lots of great stuff over in that Discord. It's also where you can find Wry Cape. What's going on, Wry? What are you up to?
Not much, but I guess you can find me at Wry Cape everywhere. I have the show Friday with you guys, the Max Wager with Chris and the Scots for NASCAR.
The NASCAR show, yes.
Yep, and then I do one on Sundays at noon.
Oh, beautiful.
For the-
Yeah. So
for the
if you are a
insider.
race fan, Wry Cape is your guy. He's mixed. Yeah, I mished him up with the winners and whiners guys. I was like, you guys got to meet Wry because he's all about that race, No joking. Rossman, what are you about and where can they find you?
Mostly I help contribute to the Insiders Room Discord. My primary focus is college football. So come see me in September. I will have any pick you could possibly ask for. That's where I specialize in my handicapping, both college and pro football. But no, you can find me in the Insiders Room with a great group of guys who are just crushing it right now.
I'm going to have you on my Morning Wood show in football season for sure then, because we don't have a college football expert. We've got NFL out the wazoo, but college football, I always want someone to talk to me about that. If you guys are looking for me, I'm Ali Burns at Plus Money Honey. And if you're looking for the premium plays from the Insiders Room, their best bets, head over to picksandparlays.net and use the promo code NHL. That's going to save you 20% off whatever you buy from the site. All right, let's do the recap. We are starting with Padres and the Rockies is an 11.5. Ross is going over, but Nick and Rye take it under. Twins are at the Diamondbacks. The number's 9. Nick and Ross go under, but Rye is going over. Angels and the Mariners, it's a 7.5. Rye and Ross go over. Nick goes under. And then Guardians Dodgers, it's an 8. Nick is under, Ross is under, but Rye goes over. That's how we're rolling with this round of Total Chaos. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and may the best capper win.
Thanks, Ali.